Boy, 4, had his nose burnt off after he fell into exploding propane tank. A 4-year-old boy's nose was burnt off after he fell into an exploding propane tank at his great-grandmother's house. Kierre Caldwell-Smith was horrifically injured after accidentally setting a pile of camping gear alight with a propane stove in the garden of the home in Albuquerque, NM, at the end of April. The youngster also damaged his lips, lost his eyebrows as well as the front of his hairline, and suffered a punctured lung. Over half his body and a third of his face suffering full-thickness burns, which are akin to 4th-degree burns and permanently destroy the skin. Fun-loving Kierre has spent weeks in a coma after the fire as he undergoes painful skin grafts, but has recently wakened up again and is desperate to play with his toys. Joe Desai is now anxiously awaiting to hear if the horror blaze has also left him blind in one eye, with Kierre said to wear a mask for up to a year to help repair his damaged skin. She told Metro US, "His face is going to have a lot of scars. He's basically not going to look like my son anymore. His body, he's got patches of skin grafted from other parts of his body, it's kind of snaky looking, his eyebrows aren't growing to go back. Some of the front part of his hairline isn't going to grow back. They had to reconstruct his nose. It's not going to be his nose anymore, it's going to be a different type of nose." Joe Desai added, "The worst case scenario is he's going to have a lot of scarring and get a lot of surgery for the next 2 years so he doesn't get a droopy eye, so that his nose and lips stay connected to his face. He's got full-thickness burns on 35% of his face and 55% of his body. That means the skin has died all the way down, all the layers are gone. They're pretty thick burns, almost worse than 4th-degree burns." The worried mother has also been forced to tell her anxious daughter, who is 7, that Kierre will look different to how she remembered him before the blaze. He has had 4 skin grafts at the Children's Hospital Colorado, where he was life-flighted after medics in Albuquerque were unable to treat the horrific injuries he sustained. Although her insurance is set to cover most of Kierre's medical costs, Joe Desai has set up a GoFundMe page to help cover the $300 cost of round trips she makes from Albuquerque to Colorado. The dedicated mother sleeps in the hospital while visiting him to keep costs down. Kierre now faces several months more in intensive care, after which he will undergo physical therapy to relearn how to eat, walk and talk. Recalling the aftermath of the explosion at her grandmother Betty Purvis's home, she said, "He actually was conscious after. He kept apologizing because he felt he did something wrong, until he was put into a coma. He was trying to talk, but his airways have been burned, so he really couldn't." Joe Desai, who said the family are now considering moving so Kierre does not have to see where the accident happened, added, "He got smoke into his lungs, they had to drain his lungs out. They had to put a breathing tube in, which has caused further injury. I'm just questioning why this happened to my family, and my baby. It's messed up. I just want to take the pain from him so he can go back to laughing and being his normal self. It's hard to deal with it." To make a donation to the Smith family, click here.